Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Hillary. Over the last few years, I've lost about 40 pounds. Here's a little picture. And I have lost that weight through weightlifting, running, worked on my nutrition. Before I start this video, make sure to hit the little red button to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my videos. Today I wanted to talk about how to start your own health journey. And I think that is the hardest part about this whole thing, is just getting started and knowing where to start. Okay, so when you start your health journey, at least for me, it was a very overwhelming situation because, you know, you start looking at people on Instagram, you start hearing people say, egg yolks are good for you, no, egg yolks are bad for you. Or, oh, you shouldn't be running, it's not the most efficient way to lose weight, or you should be lifting weights because that's what you need to be doing. And it's kind of hard to, you know, navigate where to start. So today I'm just going to talk about a few things to maybe help just not be as overwhelmed by all that information that's out there. And this is kind of what helped me lose that 40 pounds and kept it off. I have steadily lost the weight. And so my number one thing is to set realistic goals for yourself. So for example, you can't lose 10 pounds in a week. You see these 21-day fixes and all that jazz. I know you know what I'm talking about, these juice cleanses and all that. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be hard work, consistency, and it's just little steps at a time. And then, you know, you'll get to your goal, but it will take time. So you want to set goals that you can reach. If you don't go to the gym at all and you decide, hey, I want to start going to the gym, don't make your goal to go 6 days a week. Maybe try 2 days a week and then build up from there. That way you don't burn yourself out, you don't injure yourself, and you don't just give up. Okay, so going along with setting realistic goals, you want to also set yourself up for success. So by setting realistic goals, you're already setting yourself up for success. You don't want to have these unrealistic expectations of yourself and then, you know, be like, oh, I suck, I'm not, you know, I didn't accomplish this or that. And it's like, well, maybe you should like take a step back and look at your plan. So say you decide, I want to start going to the gym. Okay, what do you need to do to prepare for that? So say you work, you know, a typical 9-to-5 job. Something that would set yourself up for success would be packing your gym bag in your car and doing it maybe the night before. Things like that that'll help you achieve your end goal. So what I like to do is I go to the gym in the mornings typically, so I will set out my workout clothes. I will set out what I'm gonna wear for work the next day. I will make my smoothie and I'll have my lunch packed and everything will already be ready in the refrigerator. And there's just, or I also will have my pre-workout and stuff already made, sitting by my keys, ready to go. So all I have to do is get up. I don't have to think, I just have my clothes already there, put the clothes on, grab my pre-workout and grab my keys and I'm out the door. And for some reason, that is just so much better than having to get up. Like there will be days, I'm not even kidding, I'll get up and if I don't have that stuff ready, I'm like, no, I don't have time, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. And that's happened. So you wanna set yourself up for success. Another thing is it's gonna be trial and error to find what works for you. That is just the truth of the matter. You know, what works for me might not work for you, and that's okay. You know, you have to start somewhere. So for working out, it's important you find something you're gonna do. So you'll hear, don't lift weights, don't run, no. You find what you will do. So for example, for me, I like to lift weights and I also like to run. So I've made a workout schedule that incorporates both of those things. I'll lift weights 3 days a week, I'll run about 3 days a week. Try a yoga class, go try an Orange Theory class, that's where you can start. Just try different workouts and be like, hey, you know what, I really like that, or I didn't like that. Everyone has their own preferences, and so the best workout is the one that you will do. And then the same with nutrition. I follow more of a like high fat diet. Like I eat a lot of avocados, nut butter, stuff like that. I have the protein, the carbs, and the fat, and I experimented with that. And I like to see, okay, if I have less fat and more carbs during a meal, how do I feel versus if I have a high fat meal? And I find that that keeps me satisfied more when I have more fat on my plate. And that works for me. That might not work for you, but the only way to know that is to try it out. You know, you have to have patience. Give yourself time to figure out what foods make you feel the best and then go from there. Another tip that I've started with, packing my lunch. So that is where I started changing my nutrition. You want to make sure that you start small, so don't drastically change all your stuff, all your meals in one go. That'd be very overwhelming. Maybe start with lunch and be like, you know what, I'm gonna pack my lunch for work, and then you find like 3 or 4 go-to recipes that are easy that you really like, and you can just consistently make those for lunch and just pack your lunch every day. At my work, we order in food, which is awesome, you know, because there's not a lot of places to eat around here, but a lot of the times it's pizza, Chinese food, stuff like that, which is fine. You know, if you like that, you know, you go for it, you eat it. But during the work day, I like to have protein with some vegetables. I'm a big stir fry girl. Very easy, just to, you make some rice, you cut up the veggies, you saute them in a pan, you add some chicken, and then you have your meal. So I'm a very simple meal person, but definitely packing your lunch is a good way to start really looking at what you're eating and shifting your diet that way. And then also something I do at work is I walk. So I incorporate walking every day. I walk my dog, I walk at my lunch breaks at work, which work really well because it gives me a chance to get away from my desk, away from my computer, and I can just detox. I'll listen to a podcast. I've been on the Dateline podcast for a while because I really like the true crime stuff. Or, you know, you can listen to 4 Things with Amy Brown. I really like, she has some nice like healthy tips and stuff like that. Balance Athletica, The Balance Show, that's another good one. But I'll just throw in my headphones and I'll walk. We'll summarize real quick what I've talked about. Set realistic goals, set yourself up for success, start small with what changes you're making, find what works for you and have patience with yourself, packing your lunch, then walking. It's kind of how I got started with my health journey. It was easier to incorporate smaller changes, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've accomplished my goal. At the end of the day, you have to find what works for you. That, you know, set realistic goals and find what works for you. Then one more thing I want to touch on is motivation comes and goes. So that's something I learned very early on in this whole process, is that you're not always in the mood to make healthy meals, to make healthy choices, to go to the gym. You're not always going to be in the mood, and people are always searching for motivation. It doesn't exist. What you do is you find the reason why, this big reason why you want to get healthy. Maybe you want to run a 5K. Maybe it's as simple as you want to incorporate more whole foods into your diet, things like that. But you're not always going to be motivated to do those things, and you have to remember, what's your why? What's your why? And do it for that reason. Don't depend on motivation to get stuff done, because that just doesn't work. I learned that the hard way. You're making small changes for yourself, and those become habits, and that's what carries you through. And it's your habits and your why. The first step is to start some way, somehow. So you can do it. If I can do this, you can do this. That's all I got for you today. I'm gonna film a meal prep video, and it'll be up next week so you can see how I cook meals to pack my lunch and for dinners and things like that. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thanks for watching. Bye.